a support technical crew, okay, on standby, which are Dr. Zahra and also Muhammad Shafiq. All right. So for your information, today we have 6 presenters, including myself. 5 presenters, including myself, that will be presenting the research topic. Okay. Beginning with the topic that I'm going to present on the job embeddedness of frontline hotel employees in the Malaysian context. Okay, and then following on with will be presented by Ms. Ruang Rawi, okay, Suwan Pramod. Topic on the exploring global leadership competencies for multinational hospitality sector post COVID-19 outbreak. Okay, a theory-based systematic reviews and discussion. And then the third presenter will be presented by Ms. Wanur Atirah Wan Zulkifli on the topic of the effect of attitude, subjective norms, and perceived job insecurity, and on future job pursuit intention in hospitality industry among hospitality management undergraduates. And the fourth presenter will be Nur Farah Hanim Mansur. She will be presenting on the topic of the effectiveness of e-recruitment in hotel industry in Kedah. And the final presenter will be Siti Ida Isnani Mubin, and the topic will be on the factors affecting career advancement of female chef. Okay, just a little housekeeping before we get started. Okay, the time allocated for each presenter is 15 minutes, which means that 10 minutes will be solely your presentation, and 5 minutes will be in terms of question and answer. Okay, Madam Aida Khalida will assist me on giving the time, indicating the time to you. Remaining 3 minutes, she will type out in the chat box. Okay, so you can see it appear on your screen that you have another remaining 3 minutes to complete your presentation. Okay, and then next will be, I would expect that everybody to mute your mic when you are not speaking to avoid any disturbance to the person who is presenting. And if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them in the chat column, okay, of Google Meet control panel, and I will read the questions after the presentation. And we will also have time for questions towards the end of the session. And I would also request the presenters to turn their camera on if you are able to do so. Okay, now without further ado, I guess that Madam Aida Khalida is supposed to introduce myself, but I guess I can proceed by presenting myself. Okay, as a first presenter, I'll be talking on the job embeddedness of frontline hotel employees. Okay, so I will present my slide. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And very good morning to everyone. So as my name is Nur Hamizan Hamir, and as you can see on the screen itself, my team and I have prepared a topic on job embeddedness on frontline hotel employees, okay, the Malaysian context. Okay. So this will be, next will be the presentation outline. Okay, so I will be discussing on these 8 particular areas, okay, beginning with the introduction, okay, the research interests, the research questions, the research framework and hypothesis, okay, the research design, research finding, discussion, and finally the conclusion. For your information, okay, this research has been conducted before the pandemic. Okay. Okay, I'll start off with the introduction. Okay, since that this particular research is looking at the hotel industry in the Malaysian context, so I would discuss what is the scenario of the industry, the hotel industry in Malaysia. Okay, in Malaysia, the hotel industry is considered as highly competitive industry. As you can see in terms of the statistics given, okay, in 2019 there are around 4,300 hotels. Okay, and it is happened whereby since 2010, okay, the number of the hotel becoming twofold increase. Okay, meaning that there will be new hotels coming up in Malaysia. Okay, so this is probably due to the government encouragement boosting up the travel and tourism industry. At the same time, the impact also get to the hotel industry. So there are a lot of hotels being built out around Malaysia. Okay, and another aspect of the hotel industry in Malaysia, we can see that it is considered as labor intensive. So this is because the hotel industry deals directly, I mean the employee itself deals directly with the customer. Okay, and statistics shown that 2017, okay, there are almost around 229.3 thousand people are employed in hotel in Malaysia. So that quite a large number of people who are employed in the hotel. Okay, and as I mentioned, the hotel, why do it become a very labor intensive? Because it involves service. So hotel industry deal with people. People seek for service. So in order to ensure that a good quality service provided by the hotel itself, okay, so the employee that is being employed must be with a certain criteria. So you will see that the number of people moving in and out of industry is also quite high, whereby we define it as turnover. Okay, and the performance of the hotel itself rely so much on people who are as a frontliners. So people who deals directly with a customer. For example, people are in the front office, people who are in the F&B. So these are the anchor of the hotel itself. So if these people does not perform up to their best, so you can see that the performance of hotel also not very good. Okay, next. So why do I go into, or why do my team go into this research interest? Okay, so the issue is that because of the turnover. Okay, so there is a lot of research being conducted discussing about turnover. Okay, a very simple definition to turnover will be people leave the organization for a certain reason. Okay, and if you look at the numbers of turnover that is being mentioned by Walker and Bill in 2010, okay, there are around 60% to 300% of turnover happened in the hotel itself. Okay, so that is quite huge. And we know that from research being conducted, turnover is one of the biggest issue that is being faced by the hotel industry. Okay, and specifically Malaysia, the turnover is around 65.7%. So this is, statistics came up from the report by Malaysian Employer Federation in 2011. Okay, so does turnover is good to the hotel industry? Definitely is not. The answer definitely is not. Okay, so from this particular issue, we would like to focus on what we call as job embeddedness. Okay, so because there is so much issues that look at the employee turnover, but they are lacking of research look into job embeddedness. Okay, what is job embeddedness? Basically, it is defined by Michel in 2001 as employee that strand in a web or in a net, which the person becomes stuck with the organization. meaning that people who are in the organization, they would, get stranded. They do not feel they want to leave the organization. Okay. For job embeddedness, you can see it from two dimensions, either an organization or from the community aspect. But for this particular paper, we focus on the organizational aspect. Okay. In the job embeddedness, there are three dimensions. They have link, whereby people or the employee itself, okay, will feel formal or informal, having connection with the person itself or with the organization itself, okay, or with other people that is around them. That is link. And then they also feel fit, okay, whereby they feel that they perceive compatibility, they feel comfort with the organization, okay, and also the environment that they work with. And finally, okay, another dimension will be sacrifice, which means that people who are in the organization, they would, they don't feel that if they leave the organization, they will let go. They have to let go what they are getting. For example, in terms of psychological benefit, in terms of the perceived cost of material. Okay, I would giving example salary, for example. Okay, so if they leave, then they have to let go this. All right. So these are the three dimensions of the job embeddedness. Okay. So the problem is that why do we look into this particular area of research because of there is lack of evaluating antecedents of job embeddedness. Okay, that was raised by Chan in 2019, and again with a recent paper that I found, okay, the factor is still being raised by the researcher until today. Okay, probably because I mentioned there are a lot of turnover papers being produced, but lack on job embeddedness. Okay, so let's look at the research questions. So these are the research questions that is being put up into this the study. Okay, looking in terms of whether service training, do they have relationship with job embeddedness? Empowerment, does it have relationship with job embeddedness? And also whether the rewards have a relationship with job embeddedness. And these three factors of antecedents are actually what we call as high performance work practice. And we would like to see whether these three particular antecedents would have a relationship to the job embeddedness. Okay. Okay, in terms of the research framework and hypotheses, okay, so these are the three hypotheses that we've developed, okay, and from the previous research that we have looked into, okay, all these hypotheses are positive related to job embeddedness, okay, meaning that there is positive relationship with the service training to the job embeddedness, employment with job embeddedness, positive relationship, rewards with job embeddedness, okay. And in terms of the research design, okay, so this is the, I would say, a coordinational research, okay, and a survey questionnaire is being conducted, is being distributed to the 4 and 5 star frontline hotel employees, okay, through a purposive sampling, okay. So we identify only people who works in the frontline employees who are eligible to answer the questionnaire, okay, service that we provide. And in total, we have around 313 respondents that respond to the questionnaire, and that that particular questionnaire is valid for to be analyzed. Okay, just to bring you guys a little bit about how do we go about. Okay, we do the literature review. Okay, looking for past research doing on job embeddedness. Okay, and also from that we adapt and adopt the questionnaire, and then we run the test, pre-test and also a pilot test, and we analyze in terms of its Cronbach alpha, the questionnaire, and it fulfill the requirement. Okay, and then we have the data collection being whereby the questionnaire is being distributed to, as I mentioned just now, 4 and 5-star hotels in Malaysia. I would say in Malaysia. Okay, and we distribute around 800 questionnaires. Okay, and then we receive 500 written questionnaire, but we only have 313 questionnaire to be analyzed. And then after the analyzation of the questionnaire, okay, we go for data screening, and also we conduct the analysis using the PLSM on measurement and structure model. Okay, so these are the result of the data gathering that we have. Okay, in terms of age, we have 67%, okay, of the respondent. Majority are in the 18 to 29. Okay, in terms of gender, we have more male, okay, which is 54% compared to female. And in terms of organization tenure, we have those below than 2 years, the majority of the respondent, which is 52.7%. Okay, so this is the assessment measurement model that we have conducted through PLS. Okay, and all are actually fulfilling the requirement. For example, the CR, composite reliability, okay, are more than 0.7, and AV are also more 0.5. And in terms of discriminant measurement, okay, or the square root of AVE exceed the correlation of each other, and also the loading of indicator grade greater than all is a cross loading. Okay, so this is the structure model that we would test in terms of the hypothesis. Okay, so you see that in terms of the relationship between training, service training with job embeddedness, it was not supported, and the other two hypotheses, which is the empowerment and also reward, are highly supported. Are supported. Okay, so what will be the discussion? Okay, in terms of the first hypothesis, in terms of service training relationship to its job embeddedness, it was not supported. Okay, so this is because when people or when the employee, okay, gain knowledge, skill, and abilities to training, they don't feel that they link to the organization. Okay, and they wouldn't feel that they are filled to the organization, meaning that they don't feel comfort, and they're willing to sacrifice what they gain in the organization because they have the training itself. Okay, and on the second hypothesis, okay, which is supported, okay, whenever that the employees be given a responsibility in terms of empowerment to make decision, they will feel connected. They feel the link between them and also the organization and people around them, and they will feel comfort with the environment that they have, and they do not willing to let go. Okay, the empowerment that they have gained in the organization, and it goes the same to the rewards. Okay, when the employee is being given a rewards, either in terms of monetary or non-monetary, okay, they will have the link. They feel connected with the organization. They feel comfort with the organization, and definitely they were not willing to sacrifice. Probably because they gain good salary, okay, good benefit from the organization. They are not willing to leave the organization. Okay, as a conclusion, okay, so we have already come up with the result, reason why people would be embedded. Okay, and then we only, in terms of limitation, we only focus on the 4 and 5-star hotel. Okay, and we only focus on the 3 antecedents. Okay, but we recommend that in future, if this particular study is still being conducted, or any researchers would like willing to continue to conduct the research on the job embeddedness, so you should consider in terms of including other categories of hotel, for example, 1, 2, and 3-star hotels. Okay, and then you may add in, okay, other antecedents such as teamwork, okay, supervisor support, for example, leaderships. So these are part of also high performance work practice under HR, and also you may also test the job embeddedness as mediator and also mediating variables. Okay, so with that, I conclude my presentation. I thank everyone for listening, and I would be willing to open up the session for question and answer. Thank you. Okay. So I would open up in case anyone would have any questions or any things that you want me to make things clear out for the presentation that I've given.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nizam. I would like to get your opinion because the study is being done before the COVID. Okay.
Yes.
But now we see that due to the pandemic, most of the hotel staff have been retrenched or they have been laid back for a while. But with the current positive environment coming up these few days, where it's turning the pandemic into the endemic, and I'm sure that the hotels are coming up again. In your opinion, do you think that the former employers who have already retrenched the staff will take again their staff, or and are they going to get back at their current salary or giving back a lower salary? In your opinion, from the trend that you are seeing nowadays.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Ida, for the questions. Okay. I would say that as a hoteliers, I mean, a hotel itself, management of the hotel, they definitely do not want to lose those who are good people. Okay. And definitely they would like them to be back to serve them, to serve the hotel again. Okay. But in terms of whether you asking me whether are they going to get back what they have, I mean, what the employee have get before the pandemic, will be a big question mark, because if you look at the our in hotel industry today, they are in a survival mode. You see, to picking up back what they have already gained previously. I think it will take some time. Okay, and if you look at a few hotels that being closed down, okay, uh, like for example Hotel Istana, okay, these are hotels who used to be in the top list of hotel, okay. So but because of the pandemic itself, they have to close down. And I think that the one that will be sustained, okay, will be those who are having the international chain. These are the one who still can sustain. Okay, so the question is whether the employee will be getting back what they have already get before this. Okay, you have to look at the performance of the hotel itself. I believe that it will take some time for the industry to be back. Okay, and then I'm sure that the hotel will definitely, okay, will give back what they used to give to their employee. So that will be my point of view on your questions just now. Hope that it address your questions.
Thank you, Dr. Nizam.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Misan.
Waalaikumsalam, Puan Syaira.
I love your topic because this is my my HR field. I love it so much.
I know that's your forte.
Yes, I know that because you were talking about the empowerment.
Okay.
Okay, what is the best percentage of empowerment to be given out to the employees so that they could feel a kind of motivated, holding the position and retain in that particular organization? What would be the best percentage for the empowerment to be effective, retaining all the employees in the organization?
Okay. Are you referring to the percentage in the hotel industry, or talking it in general?
I'm talking about the jurisdiction and authority of power shared by the supervisor and also the subordinates.
Okay.
What would be the best percentage of the empowerment?
Okay. If I would like to focus in terms of hotel industry itself, hotel industry, we have seen the transition of the empowerment given to the employee itself, okay, compared to previously when myself worked in the hotel industry. Most of the supervisor keep their power to themselves, Okay, meaning that every decision that we want to make, probably we have to refer to the manager itself before we can make a decision. Okay, but lately, okay, I think because of the trainings given to the managers, okay, so they are a little bit open in terms of empowerment. Talking about the percentage, I would say that around 70%, okay, I mean the managers are willing to give their empowerments to the uh, to the employees, okay, but still in the, I would say, open and close inverted comma, they are still being monitored. Okay, so that will be my point of view in terms of the percentage of the employment. I'm talking about the industry itself. That would be my point. Yes.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Would be the same? Would be it the same or similar to the other? Because they have so many industries and hotel lines, you know. So I think are they practicing the same kind of percentage, or it depends on the organization itself? How much is it they would like to share those powers or authority with the employees?
It will be depends on the level of the hotel itself. Okay,
Okay.
so you are talking about a high-end hotel for a five-star hotel,
Yes.
and those who are at the lower rank staff, hotel, they will be, I would think, different. Probably those who are at the lower rank, okay, the percentage of the shared employees, shared empowerment will be lesser as compared to those who are at the higher level or higher rating star hotel. Okay, because you see that people who are employed in the hotel, okay, were also having different background. You see, so that can be the case.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Can I give you another one question, Encik
Yeah,
Mizan?
yes.
Okay, because on the reward, just now it means there is a positive relationship between rewards and also the job embededness. It means you have already proven that. So in that case, normally for the people who are working under the hotel, normally they are getting sort of a little bit above of the minimum wage, point. It means 1,002, 1,001. So I am wondering why these people are they really satisfied with the salaries that they earn every month, or because of any other things such as like the benefits that they could get from the company? That means when you talk about this rewards, it's a combination of the financial, non-financial rewards. I mean, you can not only look at on the salary perspective, there are other things like the benefits that they could get from the company. So what is your opinion about that?
Okay. If we look at the how do hotel runs in terms of the rewards previously, whereby we're having a point system. Okay, so you may gain better in terms of your I would say not really salary, because your basic is fixed, but the points depends on depends on the performance of the hotel itself. Okay, so the better the performance of the hotel, so you'll be getting more on that particular month. Okay, but what happened is that when the minimum wage is being introduced into the industry, and is being a mandate and a compulsory by the government for across all the organization to offer a minimum salary, so the hotel have to compensate what the employee have gained in terms of its benefit. Okay, so that's how they do it. So I guess that by having that, then the employees might feel that they not really having lose too much in terms of what they have already gained previously, and what the new scale, a salary scale or rewards that is being offered to them.
Okay, thank you for the answer, because I'm not in your industry, because I'm from the other industries.
Okay.
So I think there could be a sort of benefits also basically contributing the retention factor in the
Yes,
hotel
yes.
industry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Misan.
Thank you, Puan Shaira. Okay, so I guess there is no questions. Okay, next, can we move on to the next presenter, Miss Ruang Rawi Swan
Okay.
Pranot. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, may I start?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The floor is
Okay. Good morning, Chairperson, Co-Chair, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Ruang Rawi Suwan Pramod. I'm PhD candidate from GSTM, NIDA, Thailand, with my co-advisor, Dr. Wasida Wunyan Metaporn. Today, I would like to present our paper, Exploring Global Leadership Competency for Multinational Hospitality Sector, Post-COVID-19 Outbreak, a theory-based systematic review and discussion. I'm going to focus on the three main points. First is about global leadership in the multinational context. Second, we look at the next generation of global leadership competency, or GLC. And then finally, I'll explain to you about the GLC of the multinational hospitality sector. We shall begin with the background study. The global leadership increasing important in the multinational corporation due to the global environment that highly competitive, diverse, and extremely unpredictable. This global challenge and related talent becoming a trend for the most firms. Besides, the COVID-19 crisis triggered critical rethink and the transformation of global tourism growth that impact to the hospitality business. By reason that the intensity and complexity of global economy challenge to the corporate. The capacity of leader is inevitable for the success of global firms during the change and adaptation, especially for the multinational hospitality sector in this current post-COVID context. The impact of COVID-19 make a significant uncertainty and chaotic condition to industry, as we know that the hospitality sector has halted by the pandemic, and obviously the pandemic heightened the VUCA environment, which need a particular meta competency such as the systematic thinking, adaptability, and other substantial GLC that still have less recognition for leader. Then to enhance the caliber of global leader in firms, the HRD function should identify the required competency for leader to enrich their role more success. From literature suggests that to enhancing the caliber, they have to explore the suitable framework for their global business context. But we found a gap that there is a limited research on the systematic GLC structure in the hospitality sector that can reflecting both on levels and dimension on a specific competency. Hence, the purpose of this article aims at conducting a comprehensive literature reviews on the theory and concept to create a theory-based integrative GLC framework that can be used to identify the competency and the future attribute of leader in the multinational hospitality firms further. So we expect that the hospitality organization can utilize this as a guideline for competency development and in both HRD approach and the pathway for self-development. The first pass of literature review found that to operate in the multinational hospitality, the growth of international market generate a demand of desirable competency in the multifaceted ranges and a high skill to adapt for international setting. Some research in the hospitality field have been preliminary identifying the desirable attribute for global leaders, such as having a global mindset, foster a sense of calm, focus on people, and a willingness to adapt. From this example, we can see that they combine with the various aspects to be effective global leader for this sector. Then to identify the GLC for the MNC global leader in a comprehensive view, we have to look back to the main construct of the global leadership concept. The global leadership concept evolved from the multidisciplinary, such as leadership, cross-cultural management, intercultural communication, organizational psychology. The ground theory is developed from the comparative leadership that try to understand the leadership behavior across the nation and culture. The global leadership field consider how leader operates in the other culture, which focus on who working in the multinational firms that's in the multicultural context. The cross-cultural concept also have influence to the field directly, while the Big Five personality is related to the one's behavior. In leadership approach, the comparative leadership mapping the boundary of leadership style and characteristic of differences national leader. In the global project study, found the preferable leader characteristic in across culture. That means the effective leadership will be vary by situation and culture. From the study in more than 60 countries, they can identify 6 aspects of the leadership profile, such as charismatic, people-oriented, that contain with characteristic in each aspect as in the left table. And the continuous study also report the universal and culturally contingent character as showing on the right. From the related study, we can see that some of leader characteristic is related and recognized as a personality and a behavior skill. Scholar can consider personality characteristic as an underlying things that affect to performance of global leader, which consists of cognitive and affective aspect with that influences to leader behavior. The personality or the Big Five personality in psychology are as standardized taxonomy of global leadership, which are including neuroticism, extroversion, openness to experience, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Moreover, the scholar also found the relation between personality characteristic and dynamic cross-cultural competency that affect to the global leadership effectiveness. The next construct is the cross-cultural competency, or CCC, that is relevant to the multicultural work context. The global leadership study involving the global management that are rooted and influenced by the theory of intercultural communication and the cross-cultural psychology. Then consequently, the terrain of GLC will be include the CCC consistently, because global leader influencing a cross-cultural condition which need more complex skill set than operating in domestic country. And from the study, we can identify the essential CCC such as cultural intelligence, cultural flexibility, tolerance of ambiguity. Then, after we explore those 3 main constructs, the evolution of GLC study was developed and integrated into global leadership aspect. In terms of comprising GLC, the scholar and practitioner have identified a wide range of attributes such as aptitude, personality, traits, knowledge, and skill that necessary for leader to achieving in global position. According to the literature, we analyze the substantial competency the scholar recommended as the core of GLC, which are inquisitiveness as a centerpiece, global mindset as a perspective, cognitive complexity, non-judgmentalness, the personality, character, such as openness to experience, the CCC such as cultural intelligence, tolerance of ambiguity, that enabling global leader to interact effectively in the multicultural context. And the other global leadership traits such as resilience and adaptability are also recommended for the uncertainty and situation. Moreover, on the other side of GLC study, in the practitioner aspect, they provide 15 dimensions that align with the management role, just like empowering people. To clarify the GLC for multinational hospitality sector, in this article, we focus on GLC models and framework to portray the boundary. The first model is the multi-dimensional construct by Mendenhall and Osland on the left, that combine with the 6 dimensions, which are the relationship skill, organizing, business expertise, cognitive traits, and a vision. This construct portrays a dimension related with the global leader task. From this view, most of listed expertise domain can imply as functional competency of GLC. Next, Bird and Osland developed a pyramid model with GLC. As we can see, there are the soft side of GLC are manifested in the model at the threshold trait layer, such as integrity, humility, resilience. This model arranges the hierarchy of GLC from the basic traits that turns into action on top. Next figure on the left is the integrative framework. They classify into level and dimension, provide ability layer, character, core trait, and the 4 dimension as in picture. And the latest Scholar framework is reorganized by Bird, classify the 200 GLC reduced in 3 broad dimensions, including business and organizational acumen, managing people and relationship, and managing self. This represents the GLC in surrounding aspect of global leader. After we review the existing framework and model, we analyze the set of competency associated with the working context of multinational hospitality sector. The integrated theory-based GLC framework will relate it to the aspect of global leadership concept that we described earlier, with main component including leadership, competency, personality characteristic, and the cross-cultural competency, which positively related to the global leadership effectiveness. And after summarizing finding, the result of GLC framework can shape by the integrated to concrete existing model as main structure body, which are the pyramid model and the integrative framework. We consider the context and synthesize all layers, levels, dimension, domain, and the category from previous research that classify the group or competency that global leaders should possess to accomplish the performance. The composition of framework comprised with intangible competency in highlight, assembled with the self-management pillar that support global leader in self-development process. The model identified the meta competencies such as understanding big picture, leading change, innovation. Then we highlight some essential competency for multicultural work context in hospitality sector. That is a global mindset, cultural intelligence, resilience, and a dynamic cross-cultural competency. To conclude, this GLC framework can utilize as a guideline for developing leader in the organization by HRD function, and also serve as self-development to become global leader by self. For implication, these contribute at the starting point for hospitality practitioner in training and career development for building pipeline of effective global leader. And finally, for future research, our findings suggest to advancing the practical knowledge to hospitality sector to investigate the critical GLC for transformation post-COVID-19 context and how to develop them in terms of HRD practice and self-development as well. Thank you very much for your attention, and many thanks to my advisor for guiding and support through this study. And if you would like to join us on GSDM NIDA, please feel free to contact us for further cooperation. Thank you for opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ruang Roy. Very such an interesting topic that you have already presented to us. Okay, now we will go ahead and take some time for questions, either in person or from the chat column. Anyone from the members in the room, participants in the room that would like to ask any question?
I'm against. Hi, I'm Shaira, Madam Shaira again, because there is nobody would love to ask question. I think I have to ask one because I have to fill up my form, the jury form. I have to. I'm so sorry for this. Okay, Ruang Rawi. Is
Yes,
that correct? Ruang Rawi. Okay, because when your integrative GLC framework, that means basically are the combination of all the leadership models, right? Okay, but then and also you are referring to the human resource divisions that is basically to develop those leaderships, right? So, and
Right.
my question is that because now you are referring only to the HRD, human resource division. So now, how effective is that? That means what I'm thinking is that how to measure the effectiveness of the leadership skill so that you can say that these global leaders should have these skills so that they are able to perform effectively. So how are we going to measure those skills? Through the HRD, for example, the effectiveness of those skills. What kind of methods that would be applicable for those, effectiveness kind of things? Thank you.
Thank you for question. For the GLC, they have a measurement for those competency in a wide range, such as a GCI. They have a scale including with the question and the set of question, and another measurement scale such as cross-cultural adaptability is a evaluation uh, tools for evaluate employee in the organization that widely used that maybe we can study in the more in the global leadership. The scholar has been recommended the the, the effective tools for evaluate that. There is plenty of the index that provide in the field. Yes, right. Maybe I
Can,
can provide you in more information. Okay.
okay, can I have a look on one of the index because I do not have those kind of index so far because leadership is something that is very hard to be developed. Sometimes it's born with the leaders. I mean, it's very hard to develop those skills. So, what are those variable and parameter that you set for the for measuring the effectiveness of the leadership skill?
Effective or leadership skill.
Yeah, the parameter set as well as the variable. It means the concrete variable for those measurement.
Excuse me, I'm Vasida.
Yeah.
I'm co-author with Brian Louis and her supervisor. Actually, thank you for question. Actually,
Can you speak a bit louder, Wara Rak? I can't hear you. A bit louder, please.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, better.
Louder. Okay. I'm co-author with Brian Louis, and actually the questions that you asked is in the process of our study. This is just the research proposal to develop the model to see the driven antecedents and the consequence of GLC. So actually, the global effectiveness is the consequence of all competencies that in the process. I think we will on the process of the study and the data collection will be catering as well. And based on your questions, I think the effectiveness have to measure based on the data catering. We're going to use SEM, the structural equation model, to test the model as well with the which factors or which antecedents affect to global leadership effectiveness. I think after we finish this study, maybe in the future next year, if IJCHT organize again, we can introduce you the measurement and results of our conceptual framework. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you for the
very good.
answer. But you have so much antecedents, 1,000 over antecedents. So how do you limit that? My last question. How do you
Oh,
limit that?
sure. Very good question. I love that. So yeah,
I love you too, that
we have so
for
many
that answer.
that. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the purification measurement scales development. So we're going to do the expertise review, and we go forward to IOC, we go forward to develop, test based on the pilot test. And after that, going well, the pilot test, of course, we're going to do EFA, exploratory factor analysis. And if the factors are reliable enough, we go forward to to collect data for main survey, and we calculate based on the hair AR. I think we're going to use 2010, 10 for calculate the sample size. And then afterward, after we collect the main survey, main data, we're going to do whether it's necessary to conduct EFA again. And if not, we're going to test that as well. And if it's the data is valid enough, we go further on CFA. So I do believe on the purification measurement scales development, as I mentioned. So it's going to eliminate a little bit to find out the most essential factors to develop global leadership effectiveness later on. And I'm very excited to wait for the results.
I am too excited to know your result and finding because it's very complicated. Good luck to you all. Thank you for the answers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I have one question for Mr. Ruang Rawi. Okay, since that you going to measure in terms of the global leadership, I would like to know who would be your, I mean, there will be a data collection as what mentioned by Dr. Rowa Rawak just now. Who would be your respondent to respond to the questionnaire in order for you to measure the global leadership that you mentioned just now?
Okay. The responding, we aim at a manager, senior manager, regional manager in the MNC, in the middle manager and above to respond our questionnaire. Yes.
So they are actually from a multinational company?
Yes, in a
multinational company hotel, is it? Okay.
Yes,
all right.
in the hospitality sector.
Okay. And at the end of your study, would it be any model that you would develop?
In our study, the final model we expect that is a model of the attribute that include with the development measure tools and practice include with the competency model.
Okay.
To provide for.
All right, that will be very good. Okay, so we're looking forward for the model. Okay, so at least we can use it in Malaysia too.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Any more questions from participants in the rooms? Okay. So it looks like we have already covered all the questions. Okay. So to Mr. Ruang Rui again, I would like to thank you. Okay. And so that's all. We will move on to next presenter. Okay, will be Wan Nur Atira Wan Zulkifli. So she will be talking on the topic of the effect of attitude, subjective norm, and perceived job insecurity on future job pursuit intention in hospitality industry among hospitality management undergraduates. Okay, without further ado, okay, I would invite Miss Wan Atira to present her topic.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see clearly.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And my name is Wana Atira binti Wazukifli. I am from UiTM Pulau Pinang, Bachelor of Science Culinary Art Management. Okay. The study is entitled to capture the effect of attitude, subjective norm, and job insecurity on job pursuit intention among students studying hospitality management at higher learning institution, finding revealed that the intention student to join hospitality industry is influenced by attitude and subjective norm. The study showed a significant relationship between the variable. It is concluded that independent variables are determined of effect on future job pursuit intention in hospitality industry among hospitality management undergraduates. For the contents, firstly, I will present the introduction, followed by problem statement, then research objectives, research question, and research hypothesis, then followed by literature review, framework, methodology, next reliability analysis, design and finding, discussion, and lastly for the conclusion. For the introduction, background of the study, the tourism industry is a diverse and broad sector in the service industry. It consists of several related sectors including lodging, food and beverage, event planning, theme parks, and transportation. In Malaysia, tourism industry is one of the major contributors to the economy. In recent years, the growth of the Malaysian tourism industry has been in line with the growth of the global tourism industry. However, the situation has changed during COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. The alarming outbreak of the coronavirus COVID-19 has changed the world to a hard, particularly in the tourism industry. This situation causes million employees lost jobs. This scenario also has causes concern among students of institutions of higher learning who are studying in the field of hospitality management. Next, for the problem statement, travel is increasingly tightened both domestically and eventually international, which makes the survival of the hotel industry unsustainable due to its depends on this COVID-19 distribution controllers. Attendance in the workplace also had to be limited, and the time the economic operation sector will only prolong the situation. Many graduates in tourism and hospitality are not interested and do not want to venture into this industry after graduation. The attractiveness and retention of graduates in the field of the hospitality industry, which is very competitive, is one of the obstacles faced into the hospitality. For the research objective, to examine the effect of attitude, subjective norm, and job insecurity on job pursuit intention among students studying hospitality management at higher learning institutions. For the research question, how do attitude, subjective norm, and job insecurity affect job pursuit intention among students studying hospitality management at higher learning institutions? For the research hypothesis, for the hypothesis 1, attitude towards working in the hospitality industry has a positive effect on job pursuit intention among hospitality management students. Next, for the hypothesis 2, subjective norm has a positive effect on job pursuit intention among hospitality management students. For the hypothesis 3, perceived job insecurity has a negative effect on job pursuit intention among hospitality management students. Next, for the literature review, nowadays, this hospitality industry is no longer an option in the student careers. As a result of this, the hotel industry has been categorized as a relatively severe lack of staffs, and acquisition to get employees is very difficult. Attitudes are identified or determined through the belief of a behavior, beliefs that are likely to lead to various consequences and are evaluated to the extent of the bad and the good if the effect occurs. For the subjective norm can be defined as a determined based on belief about something important that others are thinking about and some motivating things are done to comply with it is important. For the job insecurity refers to employee perception of a major change and is not intentionally made in relation to current employment in current and future organization. This is the framework for the deviation variable is job pursuit intention, consists two independent variable attitude, subjective norm, and job insecurity. This is methodology for the research design. For the research design, analysis is using the quantitative, and questionnaire has a 3 section. For the data collection, method uses is online Google Form, and procedure is SPSS version 23. For the total population is 1,986 people of FPHP. For the responding is 198 people. This is the reliability analysis. Before proceeding with hypothesis testing, I was evaluate reliability analysis. This analysis first helped to ensure that each survey question used was reliable and understood by the respondent to answer it. Firstly, job pursuit intention. Number of item is 5. Cromba alpha is 0.878. For the attitude is number of item is 5 and Cromba alpha is 0.883. For the subjective norm, number of item is 3. Cromba alpha is 0.896. And for the job insecurity, number of item is 4 and for the Cromba alpha is 0.957. The is result and finding. There is a strong positive relationship between job pursuit intention and attitude. The value of RSO is 0.624 and 198. There is a weak positive correlation relationship between job pursuit intention and subjective norm. Value of RSO is 0.140 and for the N is 198. There is a non-negative correlation relationship between job pursuit intention and job insecurity. Value of RSO is negative 0.073 and for the N is 198. For the discussion and hypothesis, non-parametric correlation between job pursuit intention and attitude. The results show that attitude had a significant relationship with job pursuit intention. There is a positive and strong correlation between job pursuit intention and attitude. There is the value of RSO 0.624 and the number is 198. For the discussion, summary of the study. The purpose of the study is to find out the intention of hospitality students to join the hospitality industry after graduation. Intention of the student to join hospitality industry is accompanied by one objective, that is to examine the effect of attitude, subjective norm, and job insecurity on job pursuit intention among students studying hospitality management at higher learning institutions. For the limitation of the study is, there is a negative perception that students do not enter this field for fear of losing their job. Next, the survey question uses quantitative method and respondent can only answer the question in Google form. For the conclusion, the results of this study have been able to provide a basis for future research on this topic. Student interest to hospitality should be highlighted by offering many benefits. As a result of this, the rate of students to join the hospitality industry will increase. Therefore, the government and the private sector it is advisable to take proactive measures to ensure that the workforce participate in the tourism sector in the country, have the interest and quality as well as expertise to contribute to the development of the tourism sector sustainable. This study has achieved the research objective, research question and hypothesis. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wanatira. Right, so now I open Wanatira. I think you need to close one of your device because we can see an echo. We can hear an echo.
Okay.
Are you using two devices, right? Okay, all right, good. Okay, now I still can hear the reflection of
Can you hear?
my voice. Okay, now it's clear. Okay, now I open to the question from the participants. Any question from the participant?
Please ask question, participants.
Okay. All right, Wanatira. Okay, I will have one question. Okay, your study is talking about the I mean, I hear back my voice.
Sorry.
Okay, so your topic is on how do undergraduate students perceive in terms of their intention to work in the hotel industry.
Yes.
Okay, So among the three variables that you use, attitude, job security, and subjective norm, okay? So which one that is having stronger relationship, okay, towards the uh, uh, job pursuit intention,
Attitude.
the attitude?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the reason? I mean, how can we change this thing um, by having more positive attitudes of the undergraduate students toward the intention of working in the hotel industry?
Other reason,
Hmm.
salary.
I mean, how can we change the attitude?
How can we change the attitude?
Hmm.
And
Because this is the major one, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. How can we catch it? And we need to wait. We need to understand the nature, right?
We need
Attitude.
to
Understand the nature. We can contribute the nature and work contents.
how do you do that?
How
Because
do
your
we do
study is
it?
on the undergraduate student. Okay.
Yes.
So how do you want to change their mindset, or how do you want to change their attitude towards liking I mean, or they will have an interest to continue working in the hospitality industry or in the hotel industry?
Make the tell them about the fun nature in the hospitality industry, and then when work in the hospitality industry will career will be more good, or career in the hospitality is good, and will be more talented of being the like in culinary. Being the chef is more fun than
Okay.
tell them.
All right. Okay. Any question?
Yeah, Dr. Nizan, I would like to ask
Yes.
Atira.
Yes.
Atira, maybe I missed your presentation just now, but your respondent, does your respondent you take the final year students who are having their practical, or you take your total respondents from part one?
I take the total respondent in FPHP all people in
That means
FPHP.
since from part one until the final semester.
Mm, final.
Pardon?
I mean final.
Final until the I mean the whole the
Final the
student.
whole of student.
Okay. So coming back to what Dr. Nizan asked just now, maybe later, I mean in your future research, we can see how is the attitude from the junior students and the final students. Since the final students they already gone for their practical, so maybe they have seen they have been through all those things that is happening in the hotel, whether are they really going to pursue their career in the hotel, or once they have graduated they wanted to be out of the hotel. That is just my suggestion to you. Okay,
Okay.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. All right, Wan Natira, anything else that you would like to mention or to add up to your presentation?
No.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, Wanatira,
Thank you.
for presenting your topics. Okay, now I would like to proceed to the next presenter, Nur Farahani Mansur. She will be presenting on the topic of the effectiveness of e-recruitment in hotel industry in Kedah. Okay, without further ado, I would welcome you, Nur Farahani Mansur.
Hi, good morning to everyone.
Good morning to you.
So my name is Noor Farhani Meti Mansur, and this morning I will be presenting the paper titled "The Effectiveness of E-Recruitment in Hotel Industries in Kedah, Malaysia." So this is basically the outline of what I'm going to be sharing today. Um, you can see first, and I will start with the introduction. So first of all, first thing first, what is e-recruitment? So e-recruitment is actually the use of the internet to find and recruit potential hires and candidates. Um, it also known as online practices of promoting job opportunities, and e-recruitment also enable businesses to use different internet-based solutions to source and recruit for the best applicants available. And in studies by Carr in 2015, it states that online recruitment is actually 70% faster than conventional hiring methods. As the process of recruiting includes from uploading and obtaining resumes, screening, and also handling contacts. Moving on to the second part, the problem statements. The first one would be having to spend time and cost with traditional style of recruitment methods. So this is a major problem. And the second one would be traditional recruitment, lack of resources and information compared to e-recruitment. And the last one would be IT has an effect on all levels of individuals in an organizations because of the increasing work demands. So the next step will be focusing on my research objectives and questions. The first objective will be to identify the relationship between perceived usefulness of e-recruitment and behavioral intention. The second one would be to identify the relationship between perceived ease of use of e-recruitment and the behavioral intention of e-recruitment. So the research question would be, does the perceived usefulness of e-recruitment correlates with the behavioral intention to use e-recruitment, and does perceived ease of use of e-recruitment correlates with behavioral intention to use e-recruitment? As you can see, here is my research framework. Perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use is the independent variable, and behavioral intention to use e-recruitment is the dependent variable. This framework is adapted from Monavarian in 2010. And for my hypothesis, for H1, perceived usefulness of e-recruitment correlates with the behavioral intention to use e-recruitment. And the second one, H2, perceived ease of use in e-recruitment correlates with the behavioral intention to use the e-recruitment. Moving on to the literature review. Behavioral intention also, yeah, it can be described as the degree to which a person intends to perform a certain action. A person is Focus said that a person is willing to put the amount of effort to fulfill the behavior. It can also be described as a willingness of the consumer to adapt, which means the greater the ability to adapt to the systems, the more the system is meant to be used. The next one will be perceived usefulness. Perceived usefulness can be described as when an individual believes that using a particular method will actually boost their performance. And according to Ronier, in 2014, high perceived usefulness motivates users to visit or engage in website interaction, individual adoption, and attitude willing to use technology. For example, individuals usually can be boosted by giving more pay raises, promotions, and also other rewards. The next one will be perceived ease of use of e-recruitment. When the technology is convenient to use, people will embrace the use of the technology, according to Jahangir and Begum in 2014. It can also be described as the point to which a technology is perceived not to be hard to discover, learn, or even use. And job hunters would actually prefer the system if it is simple to use compared to several other methods of job recruitment. And for the research methodology, sampling and design, quantitative research is used. And for the respondent, job seekers in hotel industries in Kedah, aged from 18 to 34, um, was chosen. They were chosen because they have more experience and more understanding in the use of technologies. And for the questionnaire, they have 4 sections using 7-point Likert scale, ranking from strongly disagree to strongly agree. For data collections, Google Form was used to design the questionnaire, and it was distributed through WhatsApp and Telegram. SPSS software was used for data analysis. As for finding and analysis, Cronbach alpha was used to test the reliability and validity. As you can see here, the result for IVs and DVs are above 0.7, so it is acceptable. So this is the results for this research. H1, there is a significant relationship between perceived usefulness of e-recruitment and the behavioral intention of e-recruitment. The value is 0.702, which means it is a strong positive linear relationship. And this means that perceived usefulness of e-recruitment actually influence the behavioral intention to use the e-recruitment. And for H2, there's a significant relationship between perceived ease of use of e-recruitment and behavioral intention to use e-recruitment. The value is 0.653, also a strong positive linear relationship. And it means that in order for them to use this system, e-recruitment system, ease of use plays big roles. As for the discussion, relationship between perceived usefulness of e-recruitment and behavioral intention. Perceived usefulness determine the behavioral intention to use technology, which will lead to actual usage. E-recruitment makes the job easier because it allows to search for job quickly, improve job search, and it is very effective to look for jobs through e-recruitment. The next one is relationship between perceived ease of use and behavioral intention. In terms of behavioral decision making, individuals typically try to reduce effort in their behavior. And users will avoid to try and learn new skills if they think the technology is a bit difficult for them to learn. And for the last part, the conclusion, will start with the implication. In theoretical, job seekers will perceive e-recruitment is beneficial for them when it is compatible for them. For practical, job seekers will find variety of jobs on the internet as there were jobs position that they may not have heard as well. This is because the internet base is huge, which mean that you can find anything just by typing on the internet. And employers can also perform required activities from the same place. For limitation and suggestions, research sampling can be expanded more in order to get better results. As you can see, this research was only conducted in Kedah. Maybe it can be expanded throughout Malaysia. And other elements that affecting intention to use e-recruitment can also be added. So as for the conclusions, it can be concluded that this study has achieved all the objective of the study, and e-recruitment is actually can be an effective way for job searching. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Farah. Very interesting topic. Okay, I would like to open up first for any of the participants in the room to ask questions. Okay, Farah, can you clear out to me? How do you get? How do you get to your respondent? Identifying them to respond to your questionnaire, or in terms of their eligibility of answering your questionnaire.
Okay, so first, the questionnaire was designed with screening question. You can use screening question, which mean that my respondent will be hotel workers. So the first screening question would be like for example, do you work in a hotel, something like that, and the answer will be yes or no. So if they answer for yes, they will go through to the next part, so they will answer my question. If no, then that means the respondent is not eligible to answer for my further question, so they stop at just that. So with that, um I can see who's eligible to answer my questions.
Okay, that comes to my next question. When that kind of a screening question being asked, so do you have any such? Because when you mentioned that they work in the hotel, okay, they work in the hotel, so they are the one who will be eligible to answer the questions. But in terms of whether they have used the e-recruitment, methods of I would say in terms of what the hotel have used. For example, in terms of some of hotel might advertise the vacancies in their website. Whether these employees that that you mentioned have worked in the hotel have used it or not, that is another question. Okay, do you have that kind of question or not? Or have you ever thought that kind of questions?
Not yet, as my question it's focusing on the workers, more to the workers instead of the employers.
Okay, no, I think that you didn't really get me. Your screening question just now talking about people who have worked in the hotel. So meaning that once they work in the hotel, so they're eligible to answer your questions, correct?
Okay.
Okay. Those people who are eligible and work in the hotel itself, do they have used or have a experience using the e-recruitment is another thing. So how can they answer the question if they do not have experience answering the e-recruitment? I mean, they have gone through the process of e-recruitment.
Oh, so if that's the case, the screening question should be added more. Instead of
Yes.
just have you ever worked in a hotel? Yeah, you can add more. Do you familiar with e-recruitment or have you
Yes.
tried e-recruitment?
Have you used the e-recruitment?
Yes.
Because your topic is on the effectiveness of e-recruitment in the hotel industry.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So if people have never experienced using e-recruitment, how can they answer? I mean,
Yes.
it's not only they just simply work in the hotel, but they need to have experience working. I mean, they need to have experience using the recruitment portal or the website of the hotel itself. Then only they can answer, right?
Yes. The screening test will eliminate one by one who's eligible.
Yes. So if let's say they never experience using the recruitment, then probably you need to. I mean, they won't be eligible to answer the questions.
Yes.
Okay, so probably you can take a look at it in future.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Again, why is it in Kedah?
Actually, at that time I was go through my internship. So, to manage time, I will just take in Kedah out.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay, I don't have any more questions. Probably anyone from the participants?
Can I
Khairiyah?
ask just a very easy question?
Ah,
Farah,
yes.
Yes, yes.
your presentation was so cool. I love it because you are so confident.
Thank you.
The way you communicate, I love it so much. Very good, excellent. Okay, you are so confident with with your thesis and with your research work. Okay, because when you say about the effectiveness of the recruitment, then when there's the word of effectiveness too, meaning that it's something to do with the cost. Okay, something to do with the cost. So what is the in terms of cost? As if you are comparing between the e-recruitment and the traditional penny recruitment, how much is it the differences in terms of cost when you are talking about the effectiveness in terms of cost?
So in course, let's say
Hmm.
if in traditional recruitment, just for the most easier one, you don't have to go to the, let's say, to the office. Manage you. You need to go there with your car, and you can actually just sit at home like right now and just do it online, sitting in your room and your desk. So that already save cost.
Okay, that one is on the aspect of the applicants. What
Mm-hmm.
about on the aspect of the employers, the company itself?
So for the company, let's
Yeah.
say
Is there
they
any empirical studies you have read saying something about the cost in relation to the effectiveness?
let's say for the company, maybe they don't have to prepare let's say for the interview room. Sometimes it costs for them to book the interview room. So maybe instead of booking the room, when you do it online, you can just do it in your office. You don't have to book anything. So that will be safe. That will save the cost.
Okay, Farah, because you are confusing between recruitment and selection. Okay, you're doing on the recruitment. Select that means you are basically pulling all the applicants to apply for a job. The selection is something else. Selection is something to do with the employment interview, with the selection test, the apa tu whatever lah. Then means you have to go to a preliminary interview and so on. So now you are basically focusing on the recruitment. There is no such thing about the employment interview because it is under the selection. Okay. That's the thing. You kena jangan confuse between two function. That's it. Okay. But anyway, you are basically you have done the best because you are so confident. Dan Madam suka the way you communicate. I love it so much. You punya presentation skill is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Farah. I believe that you have gone through human resource management subject. I think you're supposed to able to differentiate recruitment and also selection. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Farah. Okay. Anything else that you would like to say before you wrap up your presentation?
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. That's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Farah. Okay. To the last and final presenter. I would like to welcome Siti Ida Isnani Matmubin. Okay, she will be presenting on the topic of factors affecting career advancements of female chef. Okay, without further ado, I would like to welcome Siti Ida Isnani.
Hai, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Oh, can you see my slide or still?
It is in a still mode.
Okay. Wait. What is that wrong? Why my slide cannot distribute? Wait. Well, why?
Your file sometimes is too heavy, so it takes time for it to load. But just now it was okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And now I can. Why? Kenapa tak keluar?
Yeah, mine slowly take your time.
Okay, give me 3 minutes or 2 minutes. I want.
Sure, no problem. Okay, now we can see your slide.
Okay, now you can see my clearly, eh?
Yeah.
My is clear? Okay. Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Okay, my name is Siti Ida Isnani, and today I am going to present my topic, which is factors affecting career advancement of female chef in hotel industry. Okay, as you can see here, this is my course outline. I will start from the background of the study and end to the conclusions. And next is the background of the study. As we all know that hospitality industry is the biggest work opportunity. Okay, men and female they can work in the hotel industry, but many working female, they are choose job that allow them to flexibility, can manage their time for the, they're more for the female that have married, okay, to manage their household duty. And male and female chef should be equal right in employment opportunity. However, the reality in the hospitality industry, workplace show the otherwise. Actually, back of the house, which is the kitchen. And because the number of female chef in hospitality industry is holding in a high job position is a concern, because as we all know that many male chef rather than a female chef, right? So because of the high imbalance of female chef, the 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 they need the skill of profession, okay. So I think for the female chef, they have a glass ceiling, meaning that the syndrome of glass ceiling is a barrier that female chef are facing in their career in the job. Okay, the concept of glass ceiling is a refer to barrier for minority female chef career. Okay, next is the problem statement. So, and the problem statement that focus on this study is the opportunity, because many organizations today are state the job advertisement that we are equal opportunity employer, but in reality, there is not true, but they need to confirm when they are interview. They have a several thing that need to confirm. And for discrimination, it's a bigger challenge for women to face is how to be true in the male domain industry, especially in the kitchen. Okay, by the previous research, they also revealed that one of the reason high imbalance of working women in hospitality industry is due to the work-family conflict. Okay. So move to the next one is the literature review. For the literature review is the include all my variable, which is equality opportunity. As we know that equality opportunity in the workplace, men and female is for example like in the kitchen, like promotion to the next level, next level hierarchy job, like to chef de partie to chef sous chef, like that. And for the female that was married, they have a bit challenging because of we know that hotel industry, they must working in long hours. Sometimes they need to find that also have a family to taking care, okay. And gender discriminate, like for example in the kitchen, male is more strong rather than female, for example, like that. And the career commitment is when the someone individually put their commitment in their job to achieve their goals, okay. And the last one is a career planning, which is same like career developing, when the individual are willing put more effort on their achievement to get a more high job position. Okay, for the next one, we move to the frameworks and hypotheses. For this research framework that was adapted, and there are 4 hypotheses, and we propose 4 hypotheses, which is consists direct as well as mediating and indirect. Okay, the first one is a quality of opportunity, work family conflict, and gender discrimination significantly influence career advancement. And the second one is the 3 variable, same goes at the top, and but it's insignificantly influence career commitments. And the third one is career commitment significantly influence career advancement. Last one is career commitment mediates the relationship between 3 variables just now, and the dependent variable, which is career advancement. Okay. So the next one, we move to the methodology. For the methodology, this study was used a quantitative research design which is to focus the gathering numerical data, and the time horizon for this study is used a correlation study because to find the relationship between the variable. Why this study use a quantitative research? Because quantitative research I think is a best is a suitable for this study to find the relationship. Okay, and the units of analysis I use the individual, which is a female chef, that full-time working female chef, and the population and sample I use a female chef that work at 4 and 5-star hotel in the Klang Valley. And 30 hotels agreed to participate. The data were being collected. I have approached the hotel by HR manager to propose the study for the call and emails to their corporations. Okay, next for the finding. Okay, for the finding, this study have as you can see here, the mean and standard deviation, reliability, and a correlation in one table. Okay, from this study, a 253 usable questionnaire was used from this data, which is 84.3% responder rate. Okay, mean of the study variable will consider range of moderate and high. While you can see that gender discrimination are moderate, but all correlation are significant. There's no serious multicollinearity. And the second table for the regression result, they have a two, which is the career advancement and career commitment, model 1 and model 2. For the model 1, you can see that show that effect of three variables refer to the career advancement. However, only equality opportunity significantly influence career advancement in the high data value, which is 0.344. And the second model, which effect of three variable to the career commitment, which is the median one. And for this module 2, they have two variables that have a significantly influence, which is equality opportunity and work family conflict with the highest data value. Okay. So for the next page, we go to the for the regressions result for the commitments and advancement. So for this effect, you can see here that they found the R square is the 0.71 sorry, the data value is 2.66, which is quite high and have a significant influence between career commitments to career advancement. And the last one is the mediation effect on the career commitment to the variable, which is equality opportunity and career advancement, because just now you can see that only equality opportunity that have a significantly influence, the strong one. And so it found that the previous finding by equality have influence to the career commitment as well as career advancement. Therefore, only equality of opportunity meet all the rules of mediation, and with the sorry. Okay, so they found that equality opportunity have a immediate relationship between equality opportunity and career advancement. So next is the limitation and suggestion. This study finding that added further knowledge on the importance of equality opportunity and work family conflict as a prediction of female chef career commitment and advancement. There are several limitations faced in the study, including the small sample size, which have a driven for female chef in 4 and 5-star hotel rated located in Klang Valley. And for the future research, I think for the future research, it can be conclude male and female, both gender, to find more strong reason that affect career for female chef. And for the scope of hotel, maybe for the future we can all put all the stars rate hotel, or more focus on the tourism hotel like Langkawi, Johor, for example, the place that are there are more hotels. Okay. So the last one is the conclusion. For the conclusion, the objective of this study are to unveil factors affecting career advancement of female chef. Finding from this current study indicates that equality opportunity was found to have a significantly effect on the career commitment and career advancement. This finding will have important implication of hotel manager given that retaining experienced and a competent employee have become a more critical concern in organizations such as hotel. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ida Isnani. Okay, now I open again for the question and answer from the participant in the room. Okay.
Dr. Lisa, can I pose a question?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Ida, from your study, in my opinion, I think gender equality has been long. We know that the inequality between male and female. So, from your study, do you think there are any chances of the females getting the same equality as a male in these coming years to come, in these recent years, as compared to our grandfathers' time last time? In your opinion, from your study, are there any opportunity for this stigma to change?
Pardon, I can't clear. I can't hear it clearly.
Ida, I think you need to close down one of your device. You're using two devices, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You need to close down one. I think there is an echo there. Okay.
Okay.
Probably Miss Ida, can you repeat the questions?
Okay, Miss Ida,
Mm-hmm.
my question is, from your study, since it has been said that inequality between genders, male and females, has been long gone from, from our grandfathers' days and years to come. Okay, but from your study, do you think that this stigma will change? This type of the status of the inequality, will there be any changes in years to come?
Yes, I think this have a change by following year, because women now, female are more have their career, their one. Um, I think maybe not all, but um, they have mm, some of female, they have empowerment to achieve their goal in their life. And I think uh, maybe they have an association that can increase the woman career. Did I answer your questions? And I think this stigma can change.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Ida, just now when you presenting, um, I'll see that three variables that you use, only one is significant, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what happened to the other two?
The other two, for the career commitment, for the work family conflict, they are support on the career commitment. They just they have a relation to the commitments, but for the advancement too, for the advancement, they're not supported because maybe they are choose of maybe for the female chef that was married, they are maybe of the commitment on the family, they have stop work and start uh, taking care of their family. And for the gender discriminations, I think maybe in our Malaysian there are not a big issue for the gender discrimination in the kitchen.
Okay, that was very surprising when you're talking about gender discrimination. It's not a big issue
No,
in
I
our
know
industry.
I know it's not a big. It's a big issue actually.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not sure whether the the questions is they are not understand or but the result that I received that they say they like they can tolerate with the men chef to work in a team like that. So actually for me is the issue in the kitchen bila we know that men are strong and you cannot take that pot because it's too heavy because you're a woman. It's just a man job like that. But maybe they think they can work in a team. So I don't know what to say.
I think in the I think in the kitchen is not all about a physical task that you need to perform. I think probably in terms of the skill, we're talking about the skill itself. So that can also be considered. So probably I think for when you embark into this study, uh, I would I would think that you might think of that discrimination could be one of the a significant factor, right? Not, but it was turned the other way around. Because if I would say if this kind of questions being asked to people who are have experience working in the industry, especially in the hotel, they might say that gender discrimination might happen in the kitchen because we see a lot of the anchor of the kitchen are mostly male compared to female, right? And as looking at your study, by right, the gender discrimination should be one of the significant factor, right? But it happened the other way around. But it's good, like if let's say in future that you are thinking of furthering your study, you might go and look at or conducting it in terms of the qualitative, conducting an interview with the female chef, asking about whether these particular things do happen, okay, in terms of discrimination. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, just now I saw Miss Catherine sort of like your
Yes,
raising your hand.
it's me.
Yeah, okay. You have any questions to Miss Ida?
Yes, 1 minute. Should I open my video or just no need to open the video?
It's okay. You if you anyway you're comfortable with it.
Okay, my question is very simple. When Cik Siti, Puan Siti,
Cik Siti.
Cik Siti, Cik Siti Kembang. Anyway, talking about the chef, especially about female chef, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we shouldn't say about anything on discrimination about the gender. That is the free. If we think about this, it means that women don't have a career in the kitchen. You shouldn't say that. Of course, men always thinking that they are better than
Yeah.
women chef. Okay, but when women can prove to them, they have to be a good team. They have to work parallelly. When you're talking about kerja berat and all these things, that is a secondary. We are talking about primary here.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we are talking about primary, we should, as a woman, we should emphasize to everybody, gender is also second, but we have to work and prove that we also can do what men can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's from me. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Actually, when a female start want to work in the kitchen, they have to ready their mental, their physical to facing what's coming, what's the situation in the kitchen. I think.
Well, Siti, when a person really want to work as a chef, she or he have to accept everything what inside the kitchen. You
Yeah.
don't go for example, I nak belajar jadi tukang masak. I tak nak buat ini, I tak nak buat itu. There's not such thing. When you follow, you have to follow, you have to commit. That is the
Yeah.
integrity of the chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally agree with Catherine. So probably, I mean, we don't just look at the physical. I mean, things that need to be done by the female chef. So I believe that in terms of the skill, this is another point. I think if let's say a female chef works in the pastry, they are much better producing cakes. Pastry item, probably. So they need to brush up a little bit in terms of the skill. But looking at the current situation whereby we have a lot of graduates in hospitality schools, majority are all females. One day, the kitchen department will be headed by a female chef. What do you think, Steve?
For me, actually, sorry, the question again, Doctor.
No, I just mentioned since that today, if you look at the number of students graduating from hospitality school, there are a lot of females compared to the male.
Yeah.
Okay, so one day, I think that the kitchen will be headed by a lot of female chef rather than the male chef. What do you think?
I think, wow, that's one. Ya, maksud Doktor macam female ramai perempuan akan in a hotel.
Yes, correct.
Uh,
Do you think that that thing can happen in future?
My answer is yes. If you're talking about European country, in Malaysia we should do it.
Yeah.
Actually in Europe there are more female and they have executive female chef. They have an executive female chef. In here we just only one and two female chef, executive female chef in a synergies and uh, there are limit, but in Europe there are more executive chefs. So I hope one day if like you say in hotel industry more female, I think it can happen.
It's not impossible. It's not
Yeah.
impossible. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any last remark from you, Siti, to wrap up your presentation?
Okay, actually this is my first time joining conference and I would like to say thank you for this opportunity and thank you for all participants. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Siti. Okay, so with the presentation by Miss Siti Ida Isnani, that will be our last presenter in this session. Okay, and again, I would like to thank all the presenters, the participants who participate in this session. Just kind reminder to everyone, do join session, other session in the evening. Okay, and also today we will have the parallel session starting at 2:30. Okay, 2:30, and also we have an evening session. Okay, which start at 8 o'clock. And I hope that I'm going to see you guys again. Okay, and remember there will be a final or the closing ceremony tomorrow. Okay, and hopefully that everybody stay safe. Okay, and inshallah, hopefully that we can meet again. Okay, in next IJCHT. Okay, probably next year. Okay, and we can be meeting face to face rather than online. Okay, all the best.
Dr.
Sorry?
Mika, can we ask all the participants in this room to on their camera for a photo session?
Okay. All right. Can you kindly switch on your camera so we can have a photo session?
Hi, Dr. Shaira. Looking nice.
Looking gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Is everyone here?
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Zara, do you want to join us?
Dr. Zahra, please open up your camera, please. I want to see you. Come on.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. 1, 2, smile. Hold on. Okay, again. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you all. See you next year.
Thank you, Madam
Okay?
Sarah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Shaira.
You're
Okay, thank
welcome,
you, Shafiq.
everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Zara.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Dr. Zahra, Shafiq. Okay.
Thank you.
Aida, Khalida. Okay, bye.
Ada apa-apa lagi ke Dr. Zara?
Tak ada apa-apa dah.
Okay dah
Okey, terima kasih banyak.
Alright. Okay, thank you Ada.
Zan.
Thank you Shafiq. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.